They couldn't have just happened to overhear you talking with your informer and decided to attack you in a panic. That wouldn't have been possible. I take every precaution when I contact an informer. Then that means the enemy knew you were looking into this before you went to see the informer. Sai fell silent at Kakashi's words. Finally, a small "oh" slipped out of him. After you gave me the order here, I went to the Anbu reference room to look into the incidents. The Anbu reference room? Yes, there's a record of me visiting it. Someone could have learned from that record that I was interested in these incidents. Indeed, they probably could. Kakashi agreed. But, Master, Sai lowered his voice. Then that would mean the perpetrator is someone in the Anbu. Their eyes met. Actually, Kakashi said, I just got back from a budget meeting with the village government, and it looks like the Anbu's getting a budget increase next term. The Anbu is. Mm-hmm. Sumiki Kido from the Anbu touched on these attacks in the meeting too. He stressed how it was urgent to strengthen the Anbu now of all times. Both the daimyo and Master Homura were at the meeting, so he managed to secure a nice budget for his Anbu. You see what I'm getting at here, Sai? Master, that's... Sai swallowed hard. Apparently, he was seeing the same potential plot as Kakashi. The Anbu caused the incidents, and the Anbu got a budget increase by using those incidents as a talking point. Basically, performing a part in their own play. Sai was speechless. Thinking about it like this, Kakashi continued, all kinds of things start to make sense. That's why the daimyo and his advisor were targeted. If they wanted to stir up a sense of crisis among the upper echelons, then attacking those upper echelons would be the simplest way to do it. And the daimyo's route and the guard plan that day were top secret. Only the Anbu knew them. It would have been hard for anyone outside to find out the details. But if we assume that the perpetrator was in the Anbu, then all of that's neatly resolved. The method makes sense. A single kunai thrown. And the slashing attack too. Shallow, a single long sword. If they had done any more than that, the whole village might have been called up to hunt down the perpetrator. They needed to keep the attacks small enough for that not to happen. And Kido did all of that. We can't say for sure yet, Kakashi cautioned, but I believe he's guilty. Hiro was always said to be the person who held Danzo's purse strings. I heard that whenever one of Master Danzo's plans was put into action, the money needed was basically all raised by Kido behind the scenes. I've heard that too. All of Danzo's scheming and plotting against the Uchiha clan, against Akatsuki, would naturally have required a fairly large sum of money. They had likely paid off people providing information during intelligence activities, and any kind of long term movement or large scale infiltration required an equally large financial commitment. Kakashi didn't know how much of the legitimate Anbu budget had been diverted to Root, but even with the Anbu budget, Root had to have had several fundraising routes that were routes alone. Kido had been responsible for one or maybe all of these. He had stood alongside Danzo, so it wasn't a stretch to imagine the two men would have shared the idea of binding their subordinates with a curse mark. So the man holding the purse strings for Root comes out onto center stage once Root is gone. Kakashi murmured, turning his gaze back to Sai. Would you focus on Kido? Right now, he's our best suspect. Understood. But if you feel you're in the slightest danger, pull back immediately. Our enemies failed in an attack against you once already. They'll come at you even more seriously next time. All right. Sai nodded and instantly disappeared from before the desk. Once the younger man had left his office, Kakashi leaned back in his chair and stared up at the ceiling. Lots of things going on right now for some reason, he murmured to himself before a communication ninja came running in. Lord Hokage, a falcon has come with an urgent message from Suna, she said, and handed him a small scroll before racing out again. He opened up the scroll. On it, Uchiha Sasuke had appeared in Sunagakyo, made contact with terrorists. After negotiating, he had killed a terrorist. Oh no. Kakashi shook his head. This is just too much.